In the final habit, Sharpen the Saw, the main lesson objective is going to focus on how to devote time to renewing yourself physically, spiritually, mentally, and socially. Imagine you're going for a walk in the forest when you come upon a man sawing down a tree. "What are you doing?" you ask. "I'm sawing down a tree," he says. "How long have you been at it?" you ask. 2 or 3 hours so far," he says, sweat dripping from his chin. "Your saw looks dull," you say. "Why don't you take a break and sharpen it?" "I can't. I'm too busy sawing," is his reply. Sharpen the saw means preserving and enhancing the greatest asset you have, you. To be effective, we must devote the time to renewing ourselves physically, spiritually, mentally, and socially. Continuous renewal allows us to synergistically increase our ability to practice each habit. As you renew yourself in each of the 4 areas, you create growth and change in your life. Sharpen the saw keeps you fresh so you can continue to practice the other 6 habits. You increase your capacity to produce and handle the challenges around you. Feeling good doesn't just happen. Living a life in balance means taking the necessary time to renew yourself. It's all up to you. Just remember that every day provides a new opportunity for renewal, a new opportunity to recharge yourself instead of hitting the wall. All it takes is the desire, knowledge, and skill. So let's dive in just a bit further into the 4 dimensions of our nature. The physical dimension. The goal of continuous physical improvement is to exercise our body in a way that will enhance our capacity to work, adapt, and enjoy. To renew ourselves physically, we must eat well, get sufficient rest and relaxation, exercise on a regular basis to build endurance, flexibility, and strength. Focusing on the physical dimension helps develop habit 1 muscles of proactivity. We act based on the value of well-being instead of reacting to the forces that keep us from fitness. Spiritual dimension. The goal of renewing our spiritual self is to provide leadership to our life and reinforce your commitment to your value system. To renew yourself spiritually, you can practice daily meditation, immerse yourself in great literature or music. A focus on our spiritual dimension helps us practice habit 2 as we continuously revise and commit ourselves to our values so we can begin with the end in mind. The mental dimension. The goal of renewing our mental health is to continue expanding our mind. To renew yourself mentally, you can read good literature, keep a journal of your thoughts, experiences, and insights. Limit television watching to only those programs that enrich your life and mind. Focusing on our mental dimension helps us practice habit 3, putting first things first, by managing ourselves effectively to maximize the use of our time and resources. Social and emotional dimension. The goal of renewing ourselves socially is to develop meaningful relationships. To renew yourself emotionally, you can seek to deeply understand other people, make contributions to meaningful projects that improve the lives of others, maintain an abundance mentality, and seek to help others find success. Renewing our social and emotional dimension helps us practice habits 4, 5, and 6 by recognizing that win-win solutions do exist, seeking to understand others, and finding mutually beneficial third alternatives through synergy. Unfortunately, most people have trouble adopting this habit. After all, there's always something else that needs to be done. How can you even think about sharpening the saw when you're always busy sawing? To use the 7 habits lingo, sharpening the saw is a quadrant 2 activity. That is, it's important, but it's not urgent. Therefore, most people put it off to their own detriment. Failing to devote some time daily for self-renewal will have a negative impact on your productivity and effectiveness, as well as on your levels of performance in both the short and the long term. If you are unsure of where to start sharpening your saw, here are some ideas to consider. Journal, listen to a podcast, learn a new skill, exercise, meditate, read, do a puzzle, take a continuing education class, or even just go grab lunch with a good friend. Challenge yourself. Make a list of activities that would help you renew yourself along each of the 4 dimensions. Select one activity for each dimension and list it as a goal for the coming week. At the end of the week, evaluate your performance. What led you to succeed or fail to accomplish each goal? Number 2, commit to writing down a specific Sharpen the Saw activity in all 4 dimensions every week, to do them and to evaluate your performance and results. In summary, be proactive, begin with the end in mind, put first things first, think win-win, seek first to understand, then to be understood, synergize, and sharpen the saw. Each of these habits, when incorporated throughout each day and put into action, will help you become a better version of yourself and more successful in whatever you want to achieve. I know that these habits have changed my life both personally and professionally, and I encourage you to read the entire book by Stephen Covey, as there are little nuggets of wisdom scattered throughout the book. Thanks so much for spending your time with me, and as always, feel free to reach out to me directly if you have any questions or want to discuss these habits in more detail. Have a great day.